Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a man back for a 16th NFL season, Eli Manning and the New York Football Giants, as they take on Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the New York Giants. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. Now, they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they come in mired in a brutal stretch right now, losers of 8 straight games.
Can you imagine going 2 straight months without winning a game and still trying to hold it together? They've got to find some inspiration somewhere that can lead them to a victory.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. 38-year-old Eli Manning heading out to lead the Giants. Look at the numbers, show how good Eli has been over the years. 7th all-time in passing yards, 8th in touchdowns, 7 4,000-yard seasons, including last year. And he's looking to make one last run before the sun sets on his Hall of Fame career.
Ready, break. Right there, 54 Mike. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen, let's go.
Manning now on first down. And this is Shepard on the catch. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Well, it's kind of interesting when you think about Eli Manning and what he's done in his career against the Eagles, because it's one of the teams that he struggled the most with. Just 10 and 20 in 30 career games head-to-head, including 2 losses last year in 2018, with the Giants losing both in Week 6 and Week 12 to Philadelphia. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Running it with the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year a season ago, Saquon Barkley. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
And we focus on maybe the ultimate home run hitter in the NFL today, and that's running back Saquon Barkley, because teams come into every game with the idea that they want to limit his production and especially his big playability. But how many times did we watch him in his rookie year where he would be limited throughout the game, then all of a sudden there he goes out the back door, 50, 60, 70 yards. He's a lot of fun to watch unless you're trying to defend him.
They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. Shotgun now for Manning. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to make it 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now a 2-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That good for 22 and a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Tighten up, tighten up.
This is the former Nittany Lion, the rookie Miles Sanders. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. And here are the starters for Philadelphia.
An offensive line play is not something that comes to mind readily, but it's always a big key in a ball game. And already these guys, they're getting it done up front. As we've seen this rushing attack have some early success.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz, and the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 40. The numbers for Jeffrey from last week: 9 catches, 137 yards, and a score.
And he's trying to prove the adage, it's not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season.
On first down, they run with Howard. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop. We'll look now at our starting defense. And they're currently 21st, Charles, in the NFL against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, but you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jordan Howard with touchdown number 8 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
It has to feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team, because we talk about complimentary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
So that drive spanned 5 plays, and finishing it off with a touchdown run was Jordan Howard. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run pass option. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Manning going to hand it off to Barkley. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Manning. He's got his man. This is Tate. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away.
That's it, baby. We got one.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice and it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room and pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
On the give, running right is Howard. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field. And they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Buying time to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. He's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
You don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him.
Sunday. Watch the screen. Down the man inside. Down the man.
They'll run on first down. Howard. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. It's a second down run with Sanders. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
Second and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Flush to his right. And it's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Elliott on for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So the drive there took 6 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Well, Charles is taking a step back here for a second, looking at the New York Giants. They've now lost 8 straight following their previous defeat to the Green Bay Packers, 31-13. That 8-game losing streak, their worst since 2004. And to be honest, there just aren't a lot of positives to draw from right now.
No, they really aren't. And you look at the quarterback. They drafted him, Daniel Jones. So much controversy about taking him so high. In a lot of cases, in a lot of games, he's acquitted himself nicely. A few too many turnovers in terms of throwing interceptions, but that happens with rookie quarterbacks. They'll build on him. They need to build up a wide receiver core. A lot of injuries there, not getting the play that they need. And their running back, Saquon Barkley, their best player, an ankle injury, and maybe reverted a little bit to try and hit a home run on every carry like he did early his rookie year. They want to see a few more of those tough runs inside and get him back to being Saquon Barkley, one of the better runners in the league.
On second and 12, Manning. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. And it's third down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Giants. Darius Slayton, 78 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What, 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action.
29 is the Mike. Mike 29. Hey, we two jet.
Throwing on second down. Wentz. And that's complete to Sanders. A strong running.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. That goes as a gain of 36 on third down.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Shotgun now for Wentz. He'll take a shot for the end. And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And if you blinked, you probably missed that touchdown drive. It happened in a hurry.
I was just putting mustard on my hot dog, and all of a sudden he's in the end zone. I've got to do a better job of paying attention with this quick strike offense.
I thought you weren't going to tell your wife about the hot dogs in the booth thing.
I just did, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You did. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. So that drive, 4 plays, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
3rd and 13.
Ready up.
54. Mike 54.
Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. Ready.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And this punt sails over the sideline, and the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. I'm sure he wanted to have a huge game, wants to have a huge game as the quarterback, but really on the ground, they've been very, very hard to stop. Maybe you just keep going to that well.
I think so, and isn't it funny how the definition of balance changes for us from game to game? Sometimes it's 50-50, run it, throw it. Sometimes it's just being a balanced running team in terms of who's carrying the football.
More than one guy.
Right, multiple guys out there, and now your guy back there has to throw it. Doesn't have to worry about it quite as much.
And they've got the lead here in the second quarter. Open man, Arcega right side. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Wentz now on first down. It's caught by Aguilar. And he's got some space here.
Holding offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Wentz now to throw. Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it, and he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
What we got? What we got? What we got?
A final shot before half for Wentz. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Well, the final 3 weeks of the 2019 season still to play, and we start Week 15 on Thursday night. The final Thursday night game of the year, Jets and Ravens from M&T Bank Stadium with coverage beginning at 8. And now look at him go. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. It's a big-time run by Jordan Howard, and even 50 yards on the ground. So you got the lead here in the second half. Obviously, you love big runs like that at any time. Here, you really like them.
And how about the confidence that's being exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. On 2nd down now, it's Howard. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 16 yards, a 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. On 1st and goal, Howard. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up. And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. 5 plays there on that drive. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Nigel Bradham brings him down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again, it's Barkley. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And Tate's got it. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A lot of eyes on Golden Tate this year to see if he can take over some of the production that OBJ had before he got shipped to Cleveland. You know, Beckham had 1,000-yard seasons 4 of his 5 years in New York. Golden Tate struggled at the end of last year in Philadelphia, but he had a really good run in Detroit, including 3,000-yard seasons in the middle of this decade. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Saquon Barkley. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Manning. And this is incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
A We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the third quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really, that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage and big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with a recipe of the ground game. 7 yards there and a first down. On first down, it's Howard. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. From the 38, Wentz steps away to his left. And he's going to keep it here. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. 20. Great.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Marcus Golden in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So they dial up the blitz on 3rd and inches. It pays off.
And frankly, they were probably dialing up a run blitz, expecting him to run it in that situation, but instead they end up back at the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Here's Cameron Johnston now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now Manning finds his tight end Ingram. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
He finds an opening past the 40. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. Here's Manning to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. 7 yards there on the first down screen play. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed.
And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Darius Slayton with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead.
Well, if you've got him in your fantasy league, you like his production, his 2nd touchdown of the game. But right now, his team is trailing. Fortunately, he's playing pretty well and trying to keep them in it.
Yeah, they might need a little more from him here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to call his number. Right now, he needs his defense to step up and give him a chance.
Rosas now to add the PAT. It's up and good, and it's now 28-14. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Eagles hands team able to cover it up. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Tackle made by Antoine Bethea. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Second down, here's an option right. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 11 yards there, first down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
That'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. 2nd and goal from the 1. Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. Wentz going to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So on comes the Eagle kicker, Jake Elliott, on 4th down. This to make it a 3-score game late. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Manning now on 1st down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free. Now Manning. Got a man, Slayton. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A big play there for the Giants. 45 yards. Catch made by Slayton. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Again, it's Manning. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The intended target, Saquon Barkley, and it's 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Again, they'll throw with Manning. And Ingram's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Evan Ingram, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Rosas to add the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Eagles are going to recover. And that might be enough to put a bow on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to 9. And he's got this down to the 35. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go counter with Howard. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, we'll likely put an end to this thing. They go with Howard again. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. Wentz with a kneel down, and that will be the final act of this game. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling. Yeah,
I don't know if this one right here, when they're taking a knee, is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win, needed one desperately.
So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for Philadelphia, their very slim playoff hopes remain as they move to 6-7 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they're squarely in play for next year mode now as they drop to 2-11. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.